Bonnie watched me all the way from the cabin until I stepped into the woods that created the perimeter of Beulah land. I went a few yards in, then doubled back and crouched behind a tree. She was still on the porch, looking in my direction with her hand over her eyebrows like an old-timey sailor. Then Bonnie reached in her left pocket and pulled out a plastic baggie of pixels. She popped a few and turned back in. The voice spoke inside my brain. So I knelt in the mud, tapped my forehead 7 times in the dirt, whispering, "Jesus, forgive me. Jesus Christ, King of all kings, known and unknown, forgive me." "Hey, Chuck." It was Heine. He said it so casually, too, like, "Hey, Chuck, what you doing, buddy?" I swear to God. "What the hell, are you following me?" Heine shut his mouth and tilted his head straight back like little kids do. He lifted his finger just barely, pointing back into the woods. "I swear, man," I said, "you gotta get your shit together if you're gonna come on this trip." He did 3 tiny nods. The guy was wearing a little boy's t-shirt with a monster truck on it. I wiped the mud off my forehead, then wiped my hands on his shirt. He deserved it, for Christ's sake. You're not supposed to bother someone who's praying with their head in the mud, especially if they never do that kind of stuff anymore. Heine ran to catch up with Marcus. I walked backwards in the woods a few steps, scanning the church compound. All those saved idiots in pure earnest sleep, having dry dreams about courtship. "Sleep tight, you morons," I whispered. I should have shouted it, but I was too cowardly. I tripped backward over a sleeping cow. Cows never give 2 shits if they're in the way. It didn't even wake up when I kicked it in the ass 7 times. I didn't kick it that hard, though, because it's just a goddamn cow. When I finally caught up with them, Heine and Marcus were already on the other side of the exterior fence. We dug a large hole under the fence at this one spot. I'll describe it in detail where it's at later. Marcus was standing in the ditch leading up to the main highway. "Forgot my journal," I said after I'd crawled under. "Sorry." "No worries tonight, man." He put his hands on his hips and leaned his head back. The trees rustled behind us. "What's up, Saints?" It was Willie. "You didn't tell me she was invited." "We need her," Marcus said.